How's it going? Search nav support. We're going to do our iteration release this is the first full iteration of the quarter. And we did lots of cool stuff. I'll just go ahead so you guys remember. Got our Turk. He's our mascot. And he does mean things, which I guess I can also show you. That is what Turk does. And that's what we did this iteration because we crushed it. So I'm going to pass it off to John.
Hello, team. On this iteration, I worked on updating the categorization of the technology partners page. I will show you the new page. Right? So we reduce the amount of partners and groups that we have for the partners. So you are seeing here the result, and this was before. We remove a lot of partners. I think it looks better. And also we recategorize some partners here in this page. Everything new, you can see it here. This MR was completed, but the content team needs more time to recategorize a little bit more some categories and move them from one group to another. So it will be on hold for a future iteration. Next one, I worked mostly on the changelog file. Right now I have this changelog file for with the work of this iteration. So thank you so much to the people that use conventional commits. So here are the results. Is our version 1.1.0. It increased one major version because of these features. There are some things left to do on this changelog file, but we are on a good track. This is the result. You can see the new version, the date of the new version, the features, the bug fixes, and everything that was introduced using conventional commits. And also we have the tags. This new tag was released after I run that job that modified the changelog. And finally, I added some Google Analytics things to detect the country where the user is in order to block some countries that are needed to be blocked in Google Analytics. And for the rest, I did some refactor changes that I think were good. That was all for me. Next one is Laura.
Thank you. So this iteration, there was an issue with having the local development in www having the navigation show up. So I fixed that. The short answer is scorched earth everything. Yeah. So finally, you can see that locally for handbook pages and www pages. I released a version of the nav last week.
That's huge. Backtrack. That's huge. The nav works, and we can test it locally in www.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, amazing. That's gonna help everyone that works with that repository.
Yeah.
Whole thing. So, yep.
Cool. Yes. Yay. Yeah, it was a mess, but it's fine. There was a bug last week of in the navigation on certain screenshot sizes, like tablet sizes, where the login button didn't have a link linked up to it. So we fixed that and released that last week. And then we also did a navigation release this week with some of the updates that the rest of the team will give. And also I fixed an icon in the navigation that had disappeared from Slippers and we didn't notice. So that's fixed now. I removed Slippers from the navigation repository and added it as a pure dependency instead of as like a full-on dependency. So that should help a little bit. There are still some ongoing issues where Slippers is being loaded twice in buyer experience. At least now we know it's not coming from the navigation, which is nice, but we'll probably keep digging into that. And then I did a quick removing a download report button on one of the old www pages. I think that's more or less it for me. And I finished most of my view hydration pages. So this checks for invalid HTML on pages in buyer experience. I have 2 more pages that I want to update, and then that'll be ready. And that'll hopefully go out, I guess probably not tomorrow on Friday, but early next week. That's it for me. And next, I think, is Miguel.
Yep, thank you, Laura. So this iteration, besides the mustache, I worked on just let me get I worked on the search for mobile. So right now it's kind of on a good shape. This is how it works. We can sort and we can filter just like in desktop, and we are using the Swift type API and reusing all these components for the desktop. So that's kind of nice. Hopefully we will release this next week, and it should be ready. Also, I worked on the tabbing issue for the header. So right now we can now tab and navigate through the header, and also through the footer. Yeah, let me show you the footer. So that's a big win for accessibility. Yeah, so you can go for each link and click it, and it works as expected. And also I worked on some styling fixes for the get started pages. We basically arranged the grid, and also we did some typography fixes. Right now it looks a little bit better, but I haven't got to the page load performance. I've done some optimizations with the images and lazy loading some components and stuff, but our performance score for these get started pages is still very low, so it's not a significant improvement. I will continue doing stuff there. And yeah, that was my iteration. Right now I can't find the zoom controls. Yeah, there. I'll pass it over to Carrie.
You're muted.
Muted. Yep. Sorry. I worked on the navigation for most of this iteration. So we're still presenting this we still have to present this to leadership tomorrow. But this is one of the proposals that we have. We're proposing 2 options. So I'll go through this. So when someone hovers over solutions, before we just had by use case for our solutions and we didn't have capabilities, we're now going to split those into 2 different groups. We're also this is also like a proposal, but potentially adding like a featured solution on the side, and then linking out to all of our solutions. So this is just to one page where we would list all of our solutions. For resources, previously we've had just like this long list of resources, and it's been very limited. This proposal is to basically put it into different groups to kind of engage the customer on their user journey. So get started, discover, and then connect to kind of dig deeper into our resources. Similar to the solutions page, we would have a featured card here, and then also a link out to a page with all of our resources. Company, we're just kind of sorting this a little bit better, putting newsletter and press in here, which we didn't have before. And then for contact us, we're kind of parsing down the links that we had. I think we had a lot of extra links that weren't really getting that much use anyways. So we're going to kind of clean that up. And then I also worked on a bit of the localization. So like the drop down with the new nav, previously we had this little globe link in our utility nav, but we're bringing this down because we don't have that utility nav anymore, and then reorganizing it now that we have our talk to an expert button here. So it just, you hover over it, and then you have these options. These aren't the options that we're going to have finally, but just kind of like placeholders for now. And I think that was it. I'm going to hand off to Miracle.
Hi, everybody. It was a short iteration for me. I worked on helping the support team. They needed updates to a bunch of anchor tags, and I helped them out with that list. I also made some headway on the GTM. I'm sorry if you can hear that. My new neighbor has moved in with a digital piano and likes to set it to organ. Our favorite song right now is In a Man's World. So the GTM OneTrust blocker, I made some headway on that. It looks like I have a class that's working on preventing GTM from preventing OneTrust from blocking GTM, but also not causing any latency problems on our website. I think the final test for that is going out today. Dennis will be working on that today, so I'll know officially if that item has been closed out. And that's it for me. I'll pass it to Lauren.
All right. So we finally nailed down what pages we're going to have translated by Smartly and using what service. There's kind of 3 tiers here. One is human translation. So someone humanly goes and translates the text. Tier 2 is first we'll have machine translation, and then we'll go into Smartly and edit it. So those are those ones. And then the 3rd tier is just, we're going to let the machine go and translate it. So we got that list finalized, which is awesome. And then other thing is we have a page for building a business case for GitLab. So I'm working with Kristen on finalizing this. She provided all the content, so I just dropped it in, and that is there. We're gonna work on this, but it's in draft mode, so that will go out probably next week. And that is pretty much it for this group. And we're just gonna close it out with that turkey. Yep. Okay. See you later.